Oh, hello there. We didn't see you.
Welcome to Drama
With Llamas.
in Pajamas!
We are the Drama Llamas. I'm Ashley.
And I'm Athanasia, and we are classical actors who have been making art together since Uber was an adjective.
We are here with you today to help bring you into the world of classical theater. We hope to teach you how to understand mostly Shakespeare, but also other classical playwrights and genres.
Remember, no one wrote a play hoping it would bore you, so we hope to help you not only understand, but to enjoy this work as well.
So, get comfy in your pajamas.
Grab your llamas!
And let's do some drama! I boarded the king's ship, now on the beak, now in the waist, the deck, in every cabin I flamed amazement. Sometimes I'll divide and burn in many places on the topmast. The yards and bowsprit would I flame indistinctly. Then meet and join Joe's lightning, the precursors, oh, the dreadful thunderclaps! More monetary and sight outrunning were not the fire and cracks of sulphur's roaring. The most mighty Neptune seemed to besiege and make his bold waves tremble, yea, his dread trident shake. All but mariners plunged into the foam and brine and quit the vessel. Then all afire with me, the king's son Ferdinand, with hair up staring, then like reeds, not hair, was the first man that leapt and cried, "Hell is empty, and all the devils are here!" But not a hair perished on their sustaining garments, not a blemish, but fresher than before. And thou, as thou badest me, in troops I have dispersed them about the isle. The king's son I have landed by himself, who I left cooling with the air with sighs, in an odd angle on the island, sitting his arms in this sad knot. Safely in the harbor is the king's ship, in the deep nook where once thou calledst me up at midnight to fetch dew from the still-vexed Bermuths. There she's hid, the mariners all under hatches stowed, who with a charm joined to their suffered labor I have left asleep. And for the rest of the fleet, which I dispersed, they have all met again, and are upon the Mediterranean float, bound sadly home for Naples, spousing that they saw the king's ship wrecked, and his great person perished.
Why did you want to share the character of Ariel with us today?
Oh, well, my biggest reason is that I love the supernatural.
Mm-hmm.
And I find all the supernatural beings in Shakespeare fascinating, but I really do like Ariel the best. Ariel is the tragedy in the comedy because they were first forced to serve this evil witch named Sycorax, and then Sycorax trapped them and they were stuck on this island. Then Prospero comes along and saves them, but not really. Like, he saves them.
There's strings attached.
There's strings attached because Prospero then turns around and binds Ariel to him and makes them carry out all of his plans and keeps promising freedom and has it like hanging over their head for an indeterminate amount of time. Ariel does get free, though, because, it's a comedy, so it has a happy ending. So Prospero frees Ariel in the end. He is a man of his word. But throughout the play, you see Ariel just constantly wanting freedom and asking for it and reminding Prospero, you promised, what is this? But Prospero's constantly like, not yet. Actually, in this scene, after all of Ariel being like, I did all this, aren't you proud? Like, look, I did it. And then Prospero's like, okay, now we gotta do this. And Ariel's like, wait, but what? Hold on. You promised me something? And he's like, well, what? Why are you so upset? What's going on? And then Ariel's just like, my freedom. Ariel specifically says, my liberty.
You want me to do more
You want me to do more work?
You pay me?
But you haven't paid me yet. And, you know, Prosperos doesn't give Ariel their freedom just yet, but, you know, he will. But you see it throughout the whole play. Ariel's like, I want it, I want it. But also, I think that the character of Ariel is just fun because they're not human. So for an actor, you know, portraying an otherworldly being, it's a different experience.
Yes, definitely. So being an otherworldly creature, what is Ariel's perspective on Prospero and their relationship, especially considering they are two very different types of creatures?
So I think that Ariel, you know, like I said, Ariel was locked up by the evil witch Sycorax on this island. Oops, sorry. And was treated awful by Sycorax. And so I always think of Ariel as like an abused child or an abused person who had, you know, this horrible parent or this horrible person just treat them terribly. And then along comes Prospero and he saves Ariel. And like, yes, he makes Ariel his servant, but it's more than that. It's not just like Prospero's this evil person who is like, you freed this poor slave and now you've turned them into a servant. It's not, it's more than that. You know, Prospero needs Ariel so that he can carry out his revenge. So that's why he strikes this bargain with Ariel, you know, like, hey, you know, if you do this service for me, I'm going to give you your freedom, and freedom's going to come at the end of the service, which when I deem is the end. And you know, I think that Ariel does know Prospero doesn't look at them as just a servant, but Prospero has some trust issues. He was banished from his dukedom, you know, and that's why I think Prospero traps Ariel and forces them to be the servant, you know, with this spell rather than just making a deal and saying like, okay, deal, like you help me and then, you know, and then you can leave, but you know, please help me, and you know, and then maybe I'll do something for you, you know, and because he was a duke, so you know, he's just used to people just doing what he wants them to do. But you know, there is like a sense of love there and caring, because you know, even Ariel asks Prospero, "Do you love me?" And Prospero says yes. So I think that lends itself to it's more of a mentor-mentee relationship. And, you know, like I said, Prospero can't do these fantastical things. He can do some magic, but it only goes so far, whereas Ariel can just disrupt the weather and the sea and, you know, reality. And so, you know, Prospero needs Ariel for the magic, but Ariel needs Prospero for compassion and caring, which they had never received before. And, you know, by letting Ariel go, this helps Prospero resolve his resentment and his control issues and his anger that he has, and it shows Prospero that he's ready to go home and he's ready to become the ruler, the leader that he should have been and couldn't have been before he met Ariel. So Ariel teaches Prospero that, but then Prospero helps Ariel see what love is.
Aww. Most of Ariel's lines are a description of these magical shenanigans that they've gotten up to, which you describe, including shipwrecks, thunderclaps. It's not just this monologue, it's most of the play. If you were staging The Tempest, how would you convey the multiple, very different images Ariel introduces when all that action happened off the stage?
So this is actually the reason that I picked this monologue, because it pairs nicely with what we were talking about in the movement episode, which if you have not seen that, you should go back and watch it. This scene has so many great descriptions that are painted with words, but I think that movement just helps add to that imagery with what Ariel had done off stage, and it also helps bring about how proud Ariel is of themselves for what they accomplished. You know, and if I was directing it, I would want the actor playing Ariel to not be afraid of these big, crazy movements, because not only is Ariel a magical creature, but, you know, so and because they're a magical creature, they don't move or behave like a human would. But it also helps bring to life the stories that Ariel is telling. And I would probably add some lighting and some sound effects just to help add to the fact that Ariel is a magical being, and these are all the fantastical things that Ariel can do. It's not just Ariel talking about them. It's showing like, oh yeah, there's thunder. Ariel did that. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Ashley, for giving us such a vivid glimpse into the magical world of The Tempest and Ariel's very important role in it. Join us next time as we have some words with Beatrice, one of Shakespeare's more smart-alecky characters from Much Ado About Nothing. Make sure to mark the date in your planner.
Because if it's not in your planner, then it doesn't exist. And please remember, if you like our vibe,
there is that button that is called subscribe.